Good morning, YouTube family. Today I want to share with you an experience that I had in which I had to call 911. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, between 2 and 2:30, and I was sleeping, of course, and all of a sudden I heard someone trying to get in my front door. The door was locked, of course, but they were jiggling the handle and pushing on the door in a frantic type way. So I got up out of bed and I went to the front door, and I have a peephole that I can look through, and there was a tall, slender, blonde-headed woman trying to get through my front door. Now, instead of opening the door, I went to the furthest part of my house, which was my bedroom, and I locked the bedroom door. I had taken the time sometime previous to put an outside door knob on my bedroom door where I could lock it from the inside, and you had to have a key to unlock it from the outside of the bedroom. So at this point, after locking the front door, or the bedroom door, I'm sorry, I got on my bed, I got my phone, and I had protection in the nightstand, which I got out and enabled it, if you understand what I'm saying. It was a pew-pew to protect myself. So at that point, I called 911, and I explained to 911 what was happening. Well, the lady didn't give up or go away. She kept trying to get through my front door. So within a few minutes, the sheriff arrived, and he started talking to her. And of course, I'm on the phone with 911, and the 911 operator said that the sheriff had arrived and was talking to the lady, and the lady was insisting that she lived here and that she had locked herself out of the house. At which point I replied to the 911 operator that no, I was the only one. I was the owner of the house, and I was the only one that lived here. So within a few minutes, I stayed in my bedroom. I stayed locked in my bedroom. And within a few minutes, the 911 operator gave me an all clear that I could go out and talk to the police officer. At which point, I informed 911 that I had put my gun away and that I was not going to go to the front door armed. So I went outside, and the woman was still insisting. She was trying to get me to cooperate with her and tell the policeman that she lived there. And I insisted, absolutely not. She did not live there. And why would she be coming to the house at between 2 and 2:30 in the morning anyway? So they took her off to the side, and as I'm standing and talking to the police officers on my front porch, we all noticed that down the hill, just a little ways, maybe 4 or 5 houses down, there was a car parked. And I asked the officer why that car was parked with its brake lights on, and the car was not running, but there was obviously somebody in that car because the brake lights were on. Well, come to find out, They arrested the woman, and they also arrested the two gentlemen that were in the car. So it became very obvious to myself and to the police officers that the woman that came to the front door was kind of a decoy, and the other two gentlemen were waiting for her to gain entry into the house. Now, this was a very scary situation because I do live alone. I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, single story, and I did have cameras up on the house. I had security cameras up on the house that were recording everything that was taking place. So I just thought I would share this video with you, because I guess because the Nancy Guthrie case is on everybody's mind, and how if you're not prepared and you haven't thought the situation through, how this can become very, very dangerous. And I don't know who these people were. I don't know what they wanted. But thankfully, I had prepared myself to be safe. At this point in time, I did not have any of my dogs. I have 3 dogs. One is a lab. One is just a mix. And the other one is a blue heeler mix. So that's what prompted me actually to get the 3 dogs. Or I had one, and then the other 2 came along. And I'm grateful to have these dogs. But what had I done mentally to prepare myself for something like this happening? This is what I would like you to take into consideration. I want you to think about what could possibly happen and how to keep yourself safe. So, 1, I had gone and got my concealed weapons permit. I had taken classes so that I could operate my safety friend effectively. 2, I knew that I was going to call 911 under any circumstances, because some people are hesitant to call. They don't want to be embarrassed, or they don't want to cause a scene in the neighborhood. But friends, when your gut is telling you something is not right, listen to your gut and be prepared to call 911. These actions that I took, including putting a lock system on my bedroom door where you could only unlock it from the bedroom side of the door, that would have given me several seconds, which count. Every second counts. But it would have been, had they come through the front door, it would have been a deterrent and cause, for them to get to me in the bedroom. I strongly suggest that you put a lock on your bedroom door. I also strongly suggest that you are not hesitant to call for help, especially if you're elderly or you live by yourself. When there's 2 people in the household or more, obviously that's a harder situation to deal with if you're trying to break into a house. So this is my story. Again, it happened between 2 and 2:30 in the morning. Thankfully, everything turned out okay. the police officers came and they arrested these 3 people. And from that point forward, I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they stayed in jail, if they were prosecuted. I have no idea, but they never returned back to my house. And I would like to take a moment to send prayers to Nancy Guthrie and her family. This is an awful situation. She's been gone over a week now. She's a much older lady, and I just feel so bad that somebody, who knows, but somebody has come and talked this lady into leaving, and now nobody can find her. And whether they talked her into leaving or whether they took her forcefully, that's only to be seen in the future. But had she had a lock on her bedroom door, it may have given her the few seconds to call 911. And this is my story. It is a true story. The stories that I share on YouTube are all true experiences that I have gone through. And I'm hoping this will find somebody that needs to hear this information and they take heed to what I'm saying, because I live in a very secure subdivision. It's a very quiet subdivision. We all know one another. But in this particular situation, it was between 2 and 2:30 in the morning, and there was nobody there to help because they were all sleeping. So thank you for listening. I hope that you take heed to my advice and get yourself prepared before you have the need to be prepared. What can I say in conclusion? Well, if you would, please like, subscribe, and share this video so that you and your family members can be a little bit more prepared when that knock comes at your front door at 2 or 2:30 in the morning and it's not a friendly knock. Thank y'all. Have a great day.